Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to CSI's October webinar on blockchain in the financial industry. As we navigate the digital age, technology continues to revolutionize various sectors, and the financial industry is no exception. Blockchain, a decentralized ledger technology, has emerged as a game changer, offering unprecedented opportunities for efficiency, security, and transparency. In this webinar, we will delve into the fundamental concepts of blockchain and how it differs from traditional systems. We are excited to present a live demonstration of a prototype developed by Capgemini's insurance practice. This prototype will illustrate a specific use case of blockchain in the insurance industry, highlighting its potential to improve processes and deliver enhanced value to customers. I encourage all participants to actively engage in the discussion. Together, let's explore the exciting possibilities that blockchain presents for the future of finance. Introducing our speakers, we have two speakers for today, Chandra and Sreeprada. Chandra Mohan Kumar will be leading our discussion today. Chandra is a highly experienced practice and delivery leader, solution architect, and team builder with over 18 years of success in the technology and business world. He boasts an impressive background across companies like Techem, Capgemini, and TCS. With an MBA in insurance, Six Sigma Green Belt certification, and degrees in NISM securities, AINS insurance, Chandra is a true expert in the insurance, banking, and TTH domains. He also brings valuable client experience from the US and France. Chandra is a passionate learner who holds certifications in cutting edge technologies like AI, ML, Gen AI, Metaverse, IoT, blockchain, and AR/VR. He is even pursuing a PhD in computer science at IIT and has participated in multiple hackathons. With his vast experience in M&A and integrations, Chandra is well equipped to guide us throughout the financial applications of blockchain. Welcome, Chandra Garu. Our next speaker for today is Sreeprada Parene. Sreeprada Parene joins us today as our technical expert. Sreeprada has 16 years of experience across business and technology projects at Capgemini and TCS. Holding a bachelor's degree in information technology, she is an expert in both networking and insurance domains with extensive client experience in Sweden. Sri Prada possesses certifications in Java, Oracle, and GW Insurance suit best practices. Her technical expertise will be invaluable as we delve into the practical applications of blockchain technology in the insurance industry. Welcome, Sri Prada Garu. We are privileged to have these two speakers today. And participants, if anyone have any questions, they will be taken at the end of the session. Before I hand over to the speaker, I would request all the participants to off your cameras and put your mics on mute. Thank you, everyone. Chandra Garu, over to you, please.
Thank you, team. First of all, thank you to CSI chapter Hyderabad. Thank you, Kirti, for organizing this session, and thank you, key coordinates. Thanks for the brief introduction as well. Today, we will try to cover basics of blockchain and its relevant applications and use cases that are within the financial segment, right? Few disclaimers. I'm not going to talk about crypto. We all know what's happening out there in the market. I'm also not going to talk about the other negativities of the technology, right? So I'm going to cover the forum, keeping the use cases and applications in mind. And if there are any questions, happy to assist and take it forward, right? With that, I'll start. Let me know if you're on my screen. Are you able to see my screen, team?
Yes, screen is visible.
Okay, perfect. Okay, so before I get into what blockchain is, I assume most of us are familiar with the business processes in financial industry today, right? So, if you take any business processes in financial services segment, for example, I brought in here two process maps, right? One on the insurance side and the other on the banking side, right? So, one, these are multi-party system. What it means is it involves multiple stakeholders within one or several organization to complete a transaction or a business process end to end. For example, if we take the insurance subrogation process that is called out there, subrogation is a process where two companies, insurance company A and insurance company B, discusses between and finalizes who the payment should be made to the insured, whether by company A or company B, or sometimes it also goes to defense and the lawyer units to validate that and do the court settlement, right? So it's a typical multi-party system with multiple organizations out there, multiple workflows, and highly manual, right? In other words. So on the other side, if you see the banking process also, you can see, I mean, a typical wire transfer is made from country A to country B. It hops up into multiple levels, right? So from, say, a person A from company B working from country X sends some money to his relative in another country, or for that matter, if he is doing a business transaction to another company in another country, it goes in various hops, and you will also see a lot of regulatory systems, a lot of depository validation systems, and lot of commissions and transferring charges also have made between the transactions reach safely to the other end, right? So in a nutshell, finance industry today is highly regulated one. At the same time, it is highly manual, and a lot of parties are involved in the system, and then it can be definitely optimized, right? So one way of optimizing is what we have tried through blockchain. I'm not saying this is the only way, but we had kind of did some proof of concepts as well, which we'll walk through towards the end. Let's see. So before I get further deep into the blockchain, when I say blockchain, most of us think it is Bitcoin, right? So just to give a difference between them, Bitcoin is a digital currency, you all know, right? So, and we might have seen the growth of Bitcoin value from the day it has started, right? We are not talking about Bitcoin here in this session, rather. We are going to talk about the underlying technology blockchain, which helps most of the organizations today, right? So I'll give some theory or basics so that I'll not go very deep, but I'll try to give some minimum basics so that we understand the applications and use cases when we talk later, right? So what is blockchain, right? So it's blockchain is nothing but a block of chain or a blocks integrated with chain, which has two things. One, the data in the block, and then the address of the block, right, which they also call as hash. For example, here you have three blocks connected through a chain, which carries data 1, 2, and 3, and then each of them also connected through a hash or a pointer, which is their address of the particular block. So how they are connected? If you see here, the first block is a Genesis block. So obviously it will not be connected to any of the previous address. But then if you see the second block, it has its own address, and then it is connected through a chain called previous hash, right? So the previous hash address becomes the reference point to the new block. So thereby it is connected within n number of blocks together, right? So simple example of how a blockchain look with simple data and corresponding hash given, right? So that is a quick overview of what blockchain is, right? Now, let's take another example to explain what blockchain is, right? So we all know, like uh, in WhatsApp today, right? So let me give a very lively example. WhatsApp, if you are a team of 15 people or our alumni of colleges or schools of 15 people, if anyone in that WhatsApp group sends a message, all 15 will be able to see. If a message is deleted, all 15 will be notified. If a new message is added, all 15 will be notified. Right? So it's a kind of a ledger which is distributed between multiple parties within that group under the control of that admin. Right? So in a similar way, just giving a comparative example using WhatsApp, but blockchain is a very similar distributed ledger that have a connection between the stakeholders or the parties involved in that particular transaction. In this case, A, B, C, D. A sends $10 to B. The moment A sends $10 to B, that details are documented in node B, node C, and node D. And A had originally 20. So A is left with 10. All these data are documented across all parties. Now, the moment B sends 3, that particular detail is also documented, and D sends C1, that is also documented, and it is reflected in each node. And then, is it possible now for A to send $15? Again, when he originally had $20 and he already sent $10? The answer is obviously no, right? So B, C, and D can immediately say that A is a deficit of $5 and it cannot transfer $5 more, right? So thus, this is a distributed ledger transparently available between multiple systems in a secured or a private, most of the time private system, and thereby the transactions or workflow can happen synonymously. Right? I'll go a step further and explain what smart contracts are that enables this blockchain. Right? So blockchain runs predominantly using a code called smart contract. A smart contract is nothing but a piece of code that gets executed automatically the moment that particular instant came. Say, for example, 31st of October, 11 a.m., trigger paycheck to entire Capgemini team. Right? So you can write a code or a smart contract to trigger that particular event that can run on a blockchain automatically, so that when a certain condition is met, it is executed. To double click that, we did a research paper recently on the subrogation process itself, which we spoke about a little earlier. And then we had kind of built multiple smart contracts all the way from registration till payment. And then each of the insurance value chain in that subrogation process, we kind of built a smart contract. So the moment that particular status is achieved, the smart contract gets triggered. Right? For now, consider smart contract as a piece of code that will run automatically on certain condition when the scenario has met that situation or that occurrence. Right? Now, one more terminology that I would like to touch upon here before I get into the use cases is about chain link, right? So there are hundreds of data that are needed for any financial system today to run independently, right? For example, if we need, say, data about an agricultural industry in certain country, we can get their data using their say sensors, we can get it through their drones, we can get data through weather, Google Apps, Google APIs, and so many other options, right? So it is also important to ensure the data that is coming from a real world reaching the blockchain network for its execution are preserved and protected through a segment called chain link, which will act as a bridge between all these various real world data and blockchain layer, right? So chain link actually enables all these data that are needed for any blockchain network, and also it ensures the applications are verified and there are no illegal or incorrect data that are entering into the transaction within the blockchain network, right? So with that, I'll also touch upon quickly where blockchain is today in numbers, right? So as we speak, like it is close to 30 billion market in 2024, and it's not a new technology; it's out there in the market, close to 10 years now. 300 million users worldwide are directly or indirectly leveraging blockchain, right? And then close to 30% are in banking and finance segment. And with respect to the crypto and other consumption, including that, India has the highest adoption rate in blockchain, interestingly. And then one of the three organizations in banking sector have already adopted blockchain, right? So that's where blockchain is, right? So if you think it is a brand new technology, answer is no. I mean, it's there in the market and it is getting into the adoption mode very rapidly. Now, the other view to say blockchain is older is this particular image, right? So I borrowed this from internet. As you see, like across multiple sectors or domains, you have a lot of logos. Most of the Fortune companies, right, have already started experiment, or some already started leveraging blockchain in their day-to-day applications, right? So in insurance, we know many companies have already adopted, and then banking also a lot of um, companies have all. I'll touch upon them that the other slide. The other few good use cases are government organization, which again involves multi-party system, and then the supply chain, right? So supply chain is one of the most exact match to this technology, right? So because since it has um, the start and the end, and then multiple parties in between, and then the status has to be tracked between each of the supply chain activity. Supply chain is one of the other interesting segment where we are seeing blockchain being leveraged, and also the trade part, right? A lot of trading units like Hong Kong Trading Center, and then ANZ, Bank of China, Scotiabank. A lot of them have already started experimenting blockchain, right? So with that, let's get into a few of the use cases, right? Real-time use cases. I'll first explain this use case, blockchain-driven parametric insurance, right? So um, just to explain what parametric insurance is. Today, when we buy insurance, most of the time we don't have a strong feel that it's going to reward us back, or we buy it for the sake of regulation, right? So at least in India, the penetration rate is too low because of the same reason, right? So, but how that kind of a motor or mindset can be changed is leveraging parametric insurance concept and applying blockchain. Let's see an example. Uh, Say there is an earthquake insurance coverage provided to certain geography, and then say the god forbid it should not happen, but for the demo or the demonstration purposes, say it happened on certain date, and then based on the Richter scale, we will get to know the parameter. Here is the Richter index, right? So we get the scale, and then based on the scale, we can set a smart contract to immediately trigger the payout system to the particular impacted insureds in that particular region, right? For example, if we are talking about this box, and to the zip codes who are the your insureds of your organization, and based on the Richter scale, you can immediately send instantaneous payout to the customers, right? You need not to wait for them to stand in queue and do a call and ask them to initiate a first notification of loss or claims registration, right? So you can instantaneously pay out, right? So that is parametric insurance. Now, how parametric insurance is helping blockchain for many countries, right? So there are two segments here, right? One, well-developed nations having a very good insurance penetration, more than 80-90%, sometimes even 95%, right? For them, most of them run in legacy today. When I say legacy, they are either in mainframes or some of the SaaS platforms, right? So, but there is also another group, right, predominantly in Africa or in some part of Asia, where it's highly manual, or the technology is yet to be adopted, right? So I'll just show you a quick demo video of how Acre Africa, a crop insurance company in Africa, uses blockchain, and they are covering like close to $4 billion worth of crops, and how they are kind of helping the farmers, right? So let me run through a quick video. Please let me know if you're able to see it.
My name is Benson Jogona. I am the business transformation specialist in ACA Africa. We are pursuing this project in blockchain so that we are able to solve several problems in financial inclusion in sub-Saharan Africa. The penetration of insurance in sub-Saharan Africa is about 3%, and this is attributed to several things, some of them being, number one, mistrust. The smallholder farmers do not trust that whatever they are paying will actually cover insurance. Then we have problems in terms of product affordability. Then we realize, number three, we have problems of transparency and delayed claims payment. Using blockchain, number one, we'll be able to solve affordability. We'll be able to reduce the cost of administering a policy to about 41%. Then we'll be able to also increase the claims payments from the traditional 3 weeks to around same-day claims payments. As part of them getting the insurance, we'll also be able to solve the problem of financial history. We know very well that access to financial services from banks and other institutions usually require a person to have some sort of track record. So we'll be able to maintain the financial transactions when they pay claims, when they buy some of the bundled inputs, when they get claims payment. Some of these things we'll be able to maintain a record of these financial transactions that we can use, or other partners can use, to do things like credit scoring, and we can confidently say now the unbanked population will be now financially included. So how will we achieve this? So we have several technologies that we're going to amalgamate. For example, USSD, farmer will be able to, since they have feature phones, they will be able to dial in, buy from the insurance, get a prompt to make payment using mobile money, which is very common in Kenya. So then once they do that, they make payment using mobile money, we're able to activate their policy. This record will be written on blockchain. Then the parameters that we've received, because we usually collect things like what crop are they planting, which location are they at, how much premium are they paying. We're using this information, these parameters. Once we put them on the blockchain, we'll be able to create a smart contract. This smart contract will now be a policy. Then we also have other smart contracts on the same platform. The type of insurance that we administer is weather index insurance, so which has triggers. If it lacks rain, this is a trigger. If there's drought, if there's floods, this is a trigger. So based on these triggers, we're able to do a smart contract that can automatically say that the trigger has been met and this person should be paid a claim. Then automatically the smart contract can automatically issue that authority and that transaction. Using the same mobile money, we will explore other options in future, how we can merge this with cryptocurrency. But for now, the trigger will trigger payment, bulk payment, where the farmers will be able to be paid. And with that, we will have transformed, made more people financially included, make more people digitally enabled, and we'll have achieved our goal. With that, thank you very much.
I hope the case study of Acre Africa gives a clear picture how the farmers are protected as low as premium less than 50 cents, and also going through a multi distribution system through various connective farming agents, or like through some mobile shops, and then how they are seamlessly protected when the case of calamity, right? So that's one example that we would like to touch upon the parametric insurance, how blockchain is leveraging parametric insurance in protecting insurers, insureds and farmers in Africa, right? So we'll move a little towards the Europe, and the other two use cases that I would like to touch upon within parametric insurance are flight delay insurance, right? So consider a situation where you or your friend misses a flight, and then it is of the valid reason, or there is a flight delay, which is due to say some technical fault, and then that requires you to pay back the amount, right? So if you have taken an insurance for the flight travel, and if that is stored in blockchain, and then there is a smart contract that can be written to say if the flight is delayed by a number of hours, then initiate the payment back to the uh, traveler in this case, right? So that is what AXA have done using this platform called Fizzy, and they have written a blockchain using Ethereum, and they have kind of set up their smart contracts based on the centralized air global traffic database that they get, and then that will determine whether the flight is on time or if there is a delay, and thereby give back the payment to the customers instantaneously and seamlessly. Right. On the other side, we also know that Germany is exploring at risk, which is another platform to protect the farmers there. And in case of droughts or floods, very similar to Agri Africa, they are also kind of exploring how blockchain can help payouts, mass payouts in terms of any calamities or hazards. So that's pretty much parametric insurance and the blockchain applications leveraging parametric insurance. I'll move further. Now we have our talented Sri with us. She will walk through the use cases that we have jointly built in Capgemini for a claims management system. Uh, Sri, over to you.
Thanks, Chandra. Thanks, Lakshmi, for the good intro. Yeah. So as Chandra mentioned, using the blockchain, we have implemented the claim management process, simple POC. So I will like to make a walkthrough of this. So basically, in this claim management process, we are having the four personas. One is like insurer or the payer, which is nothing but the MetLife insurance, and the provider, and the third party, which is nothing but the employer, where he will be acting as an approval for the claim management process, and the insured, the employee, where basically we are giving the claims. So the initial process is like MetLife creates a smart contract with the employers, clinics, and the employees. And there will be some terms and conditions apply, like whether it is a pre-coverage or the post-coverage, and what is the job of the employee details, whether it is work or what is the salary employee, or he belongs to some business person kind of thing. So all these details will be there in the step number 2. So whenever all the details are being entered, a smart contract, basically it is nothing but like a hash key or a unique key identifier is getting created, and it will be accessible only by the payer and the clinics as well as the employer using just a hash key or a permission key we can call. And the fourth step is like a crypto wallet, which is created in the app where the auto payment will be done to the insurer. And it also provides notifications to the employee, like what is the number of leaves he's going to take, his coverage will be coming under, and what is the effective date where his claims will get started, what is the type of coverage, whether it is short term or long term type of coverage, and all the details will be notified. And then we have a screen like, where employer also gets the notification on the employee details, like whether he has a permission to approve the claim or reject the claim based on few certain conditions or the rules, I can say. And the clinic also will be receiving the notifications with respect to the what is the patient details, what is the leave plan reason, and all these details. And blockchain is like now it will be coming into picture where it verifies and manages and also provides some controls over the data. And also it also applies or provides some rules whether we can approve the claim or hold on or reject the claim kind of thing. And auto payment of the crypto into the insured account is also implemented. You can proceed to the next slide, Chandra. Yeah. So these are the four personas, as I mentioned in the previous slides, like what are the attributes which are going to map to the personas, or what is the role of each and every persona. So first one is like MetLife insurer or the payer. So what are the transactions he can do it basically, like log into the application using his credentials and view what is the status of the policy, and will be able to receive the notifications on the claim request once it is initiated, and assign the claims back to the respective associate or verify the claims. So all these are the transactions or the roles and responsibilities of the insurer. So second person or the second role is like the employer. So it acts like a first level of approver for the claim management process, where he will be also able to access the application by his credentials and view what is the policy terms and conditions, and notifies the claims which are requested by the employee. You also have a feasibility or a role to like accept or reject the claim and view the claim status. Moving on to the third one is like employee. So he is the one where we are providing the claim basically. So he can view what is the policy terms and conditions. He can apply the claim request by providing the data, what is his name, address, and all of the details. And he can also view whether his claim has been approved or the rejected. The third one is fourth one is like a clinic provider. So it is also like a second level of approval to the claim, I can say, whereas the first level is the employer and the second level is the clinic provider. So he'll be able to access the application and then view the policy terms and conditions, and also provide the notifications on the claims request approved by the employee. He will be also having a permission to edit or upload the medical documents and view the claim status. Can you move on to the next slide, please? Yeah. So basically, based on the whatever I have explained in the previous slide, right? So we have created the four smart contract. One is like claim creation. So by taking the inputs of the employee, what is his claim details, medical records, and all, we'll be creating a smart contract. Uh, First, a smart contract, I can say. So next one is the employer approval or rejection smart contract. So once we take the details of the employee, then employer will be able to approve or reject the claim basically. So this is a second smart contract we have created. The third one is like clinic review smart contract. So here, if we will be taking the input from the clinic, whether to accept or reject the claim, and we'll be able to update the claim records and all these details. So based on this, we'll be creating the third smart contract. The fourth one is like MetLife approval and the settlement smart contract. So it will be taking from the MetLife insurance basically. So whether we can approve or reject the claim. So, this is basically the what we can say like login, and then how do we really create a claim? Then it goes to the next level of employee review. Then it goes to the clinic level of review. Then the final MetLife review. So basically, we just gave the what we can say sequence diagram kind of thing. Yeah. So here, basically, based on the employee ID of the employee, automatically the claims will be filling here. Claim details will be filling here, and we'll be getting a smart contract ID, just a hash key, I can say, unique identifier to say like, okay, these claims have been initiated for this particular person, kind of thing. So this is how the smart contract creation. Yeah. Go ahead to next slide, please. Yeah. Transaction hash basically. So that is nothing but the smart contract. And these are the details where you will be entering the details in the claim initiation for a particular person. And this is a screen where we'll be able to submit to the next level of approval. That is nothing but the employee approval. So once a claim is initiated, we'll be getting a message like your claim has been initiated successfully, and a claim ID will be generated. So this is a dashboard screen for an employee where we can see what is the claim number, what is the smart contact address, or a smart hash key, I can say, that can be visible here. Yeah. Yeah, this is again the employer dashboard screen where we can say like, okay, the employee has been submitted the claims and it is awaiting for the approval. The employer has to act upon on this and approve or reject the respective claim. Yeah. So this is the employer approval screen. What is the employee ID of that? And yeah, you can move ahead. Basically a review kind of thing, I can say, whether we can go ahead and approve or reject. So there are two cases, like we can accept the claim or we can reject the claim, and we can submit the details. So case one, like whenever the employer is rejected, so how the dashboard screen looks like what is the claim number, who is the employee name, and what is the smart contract which has been rejected for that, and what is the status of that request rejected because of some counterfeit details or because of some reason it got rejected, right? So we'll be able to see the status of that. If the case two is like employer approved, so once the employer approved the claim, we can see the claim number, person, and the status also like employer approved, and what is the smart contract hash key for that claim. So it's a MetLife claims dashboard where we can see, okay, the employer has been approved the claim now, and it has went to the next level of approval, like employer approval is done. Action required is like clinic has to be approved for that. So this is smart contact address ID, and the action required is clinic will be approving for this. So this is a MetLife claims dashboard screen, we can say. Yeah. So MetLife claims dashboard screen. Yeah, this is done, Chandra. Yeah. So again, in the MetLife approval also, we can have a scenarios like whether it can be approved and redirected to the payment page or rejected because of some conditions and go back to the dashboard screen. So this is how the screen looks. MetLife approval based on the approve, how we'll be able to see like we'll be getting a hash key and what is the payment kind of thing, what is the execution cost, all these details will be able to view it. It is nothing but the amount credited to the employee screen. Payment completed screen, I can say, like you can see what is the claim number and what is the status of the payment for that hash key. Yeah. If it is rejected, we'll be able to find the status this way, right? Like was rejected and what is the reason for that. That's it from. Thank you.
Thank you, Sri. So basically, Sri have tried to explain how four different parties involved in a unique claims transaction between payer, health provider, um, patient, or the insured, and clinics to come together and help the customer in this case, right? So I've claimed seamlessly connected through smart contracts, and the trust is happening in blockchain layer. So no need certain validations and seamlessly connected through intra workflow, I would say, between four different groups and seamlessly get the transaction. Thank you so much, Sri. I'll quickly touch upon on the banking part for a few minutes. So banking also, like we see a lot of momentum in blockchain. For example, JP Morgan are already working with many of the Indian banks to work on the Nostro accounts and thereby have the transaction settlement done on 24 cross 7, especially with the settlement part of it, right? So many banks today are exploring blockchain because it's a right fit to avoid so many intermediaries, and the kind of trust and the security can also be enhanced if they're going in a private blockchain, right? So then many other financial segments, for example, NDIS, which is the National Disability Insurance Service Provider, right? So NDIS in Australia is actually working on a blockchain-based payment for their payment to their disabled insureds, right? So that is being worked upon, and then HSBC is going all the new level to see how they can bring in digital gold using blockchain, right? So and then just to wrap up, right? So we're not here again to say, hey, blockchain is the future. I mean, it's still under uh, various considerations at various stages when we take various segments, right? But one thing is for sure, like, I mean, the market size is growing over the next 10 years. And then we see the exponentially growing graph for the next 1 decade, right? So with that, like, I mean, we will assume that blockchain could potentially bring a revolution in not just financial industry, but also many other domains that I spoke about where multi-party systems are still working in silos, right? Thank you so much for this opportunity. If there are any questions, we are happy to assist. Thank you.
Participants, if you have any questions, you can please ask. Thank you.
Okay, if there are any other questions, you can write down to us in email or even put this in chat. We are happy to assist. Thank you, team. Have a good day.
Uh, Thank you, Chandra Garu and Sreeprada Garu, for providing a comprehensive overview of blockchain technology and its transformative potential within the financial sector. I would also like to thank all of you, the participants, for your active engagement and insightful discussion. Kirti for facilitating the session, and Chandra Dasakagaru and CSI for the opportunity. I request you to join us for future webinars on cutting edge technologies also. Thank you, everyone.